Welcome to Complexity Made Simple. My name is Paul Allen, and the subject of today's newsletter, well, we're going to take a look at ISO 9001 and ISO 9001 as a prize to be won, like winning a prize at the local school sports day. I don't understand the obsession with ISO 9001 as a prize to be won. It is advice on how to be world class. So let's take a look at this. So it's ISO 9001. Is it really a prize to be won? And what this stems from, a client of mine sent out a marketing email. I happen to be on their marketing list. This company, they're an engineering company. They are a great company. They are a British engineering company. The best companies in the world are British engineering companies, as far as I'm concerned. And what they said was, they had an audit, and the auditor had found no non-conformities, I should say. No non-conformities. And they got no suggestions. They got no suggestions for improvement. And they put this out in their marketing blurb as if to say, well, we've won a prize. Yeah, because we're the best. We must be the best at everything, because the guy didn't say anything to us. And I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. ISO 9001 is about process improvement. It's about being world class. It's about having a management system that drives continuous improvement through your manufacturing process. And part of that, of course, is the routine external audits, which are something that can be highly valuable. Now they had an auditor turn up. This guy audits world-class systems everywhere he goes, and when he turned up, he couldn't make one suggestion on how to use what other companies were doing. I find that absolutely amazing. I would have grabbed him by the scruff of the neck and I would have told him, if you don't make suggestions, to be honest, I would have told him, if you don't find some of these, I won't pay you. If you don't make suggestions, I won't pay you. Don't turn up here and tell us there's nothing we can do to improve. That is completely illogical. You know, ultimately, what's going on? ISO 9000 is about this process. If you're a manufacturing company, you have these processes peppered all through your company. And they look like this. Now, what's ISO 9000's role in your ability to make money? Well, in the first instance, and they talk about product realization, which is a really strange phrase, product realization. I would call it designing the manufacturing process, new product introduction, new product development maybe. But in the first instance, what are they trying to get you to do? Well, ISO 9000 is trying to get you to design your process. And it's trying to get you to design your process so that it is risk-free. What does risk-free mean? Well, another word, as far as I'm concerned, would be defect-free. So in the first level, it's trying to get you to design this as well as you possibly can in the first instance. And of course, what does that mean? It means designing great input controls. because by controlling the inputs, you control the outputs. So it's trying to get you to do that in the product realization phase. Then once you've got yourself a well-designed process and a great control plan, you've designed that, then of course you put it live. Well, now what they're going to do is we're going to come and audit whether you're following all of these great input controls that you've set in place. So the audit is auditing this process ongoing, because ultimately you get sloppy and lazy and people forget to do things and standards slip through the cracks as new people appear and new ideas turn up and new documents are written and all sorts of things. So it's auditing this to make sure that you stick to the rules. So in other words, it says design a great process, then stick to the rules that you've got in order to keep your process really great. And what we'll do is we'll turn up and we'll audit that. So what does an ISO 9000 audit do? It helps you to make money. What it certainly isn't is a prize. It's not a certificate on the wall. It's a system that helps you to make more money. That's a fantastic thing, by the way. So don't let the guy turn up and say, I'm not going to give you any advice on how to make more money. Because what's that assuming? Well, it's assuming that you are faultless at doing this. It assumes that you are faultless, that you have the world's authority on designing new processes, that you designed your process perfectly when you did it. I wish I knew a client that did that. We'd be holding them up as the most brilliant company in the world. So number one, now suggestions would be assuming you are designing your processes brilliantly and flawlessly. That would be step one. Number two, the systems that you have to visualize and control those rules are also faultless, absolutely faultless and brilliant, without a single gap anywhere. And the third thing for me that would be acceptable for no suggestions would be this: your whole company, all of your products, are defect free. If all of your products are defect free, I might accept this nonsense. But you've got a defect rate. I know that company that sent me that marketing email. I know they've got a defect rate. I know they're not defect free. Well, if they're not defect free, why would you let an auditor turn up and make no suggestions to you? There's plenty to improve because you've got defects. The only question is, what am I going to tell you? As you walk the floor, a good auditor, as he walks the floor, if he can't see 20 suggestions to improve your process, I would be really, really surprised. A great consultant would walk the floor and would give you suggestions left, right and centre. Certainly I work for Sony. When I worked for Sony, senior management from Tokyo would turn up and they would always make suggestions on how to improve our process. So, and by the way, we didn't have to pay for those guys to come. You're paying for this. You're paying for this advice. Don't let an auditor turn up and walk away with no suggestions. That's unacceptable. I wouldn't pay that bill if that was me. ISO 9000, but if you think of it as a prize to be won, you see, you'll accept this. ISO 9000 is not a prize to be won. It's a system to make more money. And if you're not defect free, you've got a long way to go. Therefore, you should always have suggestions from your auditors. Make your ISO auditors give you suggestions and stop thinking of ISO 9001 as a prize to be won. And then what you'll do, you'll make piles and piles of cash and more of it every time you do an ISO audit. ISO 9001.